Hey, good morning on Thursday, September 7th from the CNET New Studios. It's time for the episode 280 of the 359. You can call me Bivg. And in the house today, we've got Ben Fox Rubin and Roger Cheng.
What's up, Bivg? Bivg. Bivg is good. That's catchy. It's one syllable.
Let's see if it sticks around here. Guys, what are we talking about
We're
today?
talking about big
the
surprise, iPhone. The iPhone's just really at this point a little less than a week away. We're going to talk a little bit about the controversial rumored removal of the home button and how that might affect our lives. I think it might be, it's more significant than you think. Ben disagrees somewhat.
We'll talk about it.
We'll talk about it. We'll also talk about Amazon going after some scammers from Kindle scammers, right?
Yeah, Kindle self-publishing scammers.
And we'll talk a little bit about the tech industry's attempt to save DACA, or at least save the dreamers, and pushing for some legislation. So lots to talk about, so let's just get right to it. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section. Brian will pick out the best, and we will get to them in 3 minutes and 59 seconds.
Here we go for the recording of the podcast. See you back in the chat in 3, 2...
Welcome to the 359. I'm Roger Cheng.
I'm Ben Fox Rubin.
The iPhone is nearly here. One of the controversial rumor changes is the removal of the home button, the physical home button. The home button that if you're an iPhone user, you've used basically a billion times a day, at least. That's a rough average. Ben, what do you think? How is this? I mean, do you think this is a big enough change that's going to mess with the way you use your phone?
Yeah, but don't you think that ultimately we're making a really big deal about what's ultimately a fairly minor design change?
No.
This is going to be heralded as such a big deal. It's going to launch so many hot takes. Oh my God. And
I've already got my hot take prepared.
Button. They got rid of a button. Come on.
Here's the thing. Yes, they're getting rid of the button. Think of how many things do you do with that button. You multitask, you triple click to get the camera. You're constantly going back to home. I mean, think about, and I kind of jokingly say we click on that thing a billion times, but we click on that home button a lot, right? And to remove that button and have this sort of virtual button floating there, to me at least, suggests that there's going to be a bigger change in the user interface. It's going to be, we've already sort of seen hints that there might be more of a dock like the iPad, where it'll be sort of a longer row of icons. So it could mark sort of a bigger change in how we use our iPhone, and that could be the biggest. That could throw people for a loop.
I get that. From a habitual perspective, more often than not, you're going to hit the home button just to kind of get your day started to delve into your phone.
Yeah.
Maybe sometimes you press the power button, but at the very least, that's where the Touch ID exists. But at the same time, I do at least want to mention that Samsung already did this in March.
Yep.
We're doing it again, where maybe we're giving Apple too much credit for being second potato or whatever
I'm not saying that this is I'm not heralding them for their innovation. I'm just saying for users who are used to this, you might have to be ready for a big change. And so what Samsung did. Samsung users aren't generally iPhone users, so they're almost two separate groups, right? So, most of the folks who are looking to upgrade to this new iPhone are iPhone users, are used to the physical home button. So, I don't know, it could be a big change.
I'm starting to get it. I understand what you mean.
Have I sold you?
Not entirely. I mean, when what was it? The iPhone 7?
Just wait till you read my hot take. Right. It'll be awesome.
It's going to be super hot. When the iPhone 7 came out and they switched to a haptic button, I was like, I'm not into this. I'm not on board.
You got
I'm
used
not
to
interested.
it though, right?
No, I still have an iPhone 6.
I was the same way, and I kind of got used to it. And I think overall, in the end, you will get used to it. It's a weird transition.
One of the things, too, just to throw it in there, I don't even know how people would actually be able to find this button, because if it's all one flat surface, how are you even going to get there?
I think that's the challenge, especially when the screen is off. How do you hit the home button? I
await your hot take.
We'll see. All right, next up, Amazon has some news. Ben?
Yeah, Amazon is continuing its effort to go after scammers, counterfeiters, or alleged scammers on its site. On yesterday, it filed 5 different arbitration briefs to go after a bunch of people that were trying to scam the Kindle self-publishing platform to try to make some extra money. So they would either jack up their books on the bestseller list, or they would put in fake reviews. Fake reviews is obviously like a very tried and true way to like scam ways of getting people to buy stuff.
Yep.
There was another guy that would reach out to authors to try to he had a way of like increasing the number of page views because you actually increase your royalties for the number of page views you get on certain books.
Oh, wow.
So
Okay.
they're going to continue doing that.
All right. Well, lastly, Maggie Reardon has a nice piece on tech's attempt to save DACA, or at least maybe not DACA in the way it is now, but in terms of trying to get Congress to introduce a bill to save the so-called dreamers, these immigrants who are part of the DACA program. So her story is interesting because it notes that tech has been actually pretty successful in the political realm, in terms of stopping SOPA, that was the Online Piracy Act, getting net neutrality passed back under the Obama administration. But when it comes to actually introducing new policy, tech's really struggled with this, and a lot of the experts that Maggie talked to suggested that tech would have a real uphill climb here just because immigration is such a controversial topic here.
Right. This is also in many ways a social issue, not a tech issue. I understand, obviously, a lot of dreamers have tech jobs, and the tech industry in general has had a more, I guess I would say, lax or more, broader view on immigration.
I would say they're the most vocal party right now in terms of supporting DACA, or at least trying to get DACA back.
And they've been increasingly supportive of a lot of, liberal and progressive efforts, basically since the Trump administration. So
absolutely. Yeah,
I didn't find this too surprising that they were...
not that they were trying to save DACA. I think what was surprising is given their influence and their history of success, the challenges that they face. That the fact that it's still going to be really tough even for companies as powerful as Apple,
Absolutely.
Google, and Facebook. So, all right, for these stories and more, check us out on CNET. I'm Roger Cheng.
I'm Ben Fox Rubin.
Thanks for listening.
So I have a question before we jump right into the chat.
Let's do it.
Because inevitably everybody's going to be talking about this iPhone crap.
Okay, bring it.
If Apple decides to kill the home button, I don't know if this is an if question anymore. Probably the wrong phrasing here, but without the home button in the iPhone, do you think that's going to follow suit on an iPad?
That's a really good question.
There's more real estate on an iPad.
Yeah, I actually kind of like the bezel, the frame around the iPad because I don't want to get my fingerprint on the screen itself.
That's a good point.
It's good. Like I like having a little bit. Like I have an iPad Air, and I like having that frame to hold the screen with it. The screen's fairly large already. Like I think the whole idea with the iPhone is you want to kind of keep it compact, but you want a bigger screen. Hence, removing the bezels and getting this kind of whole seamless look. I don't know. Maybe they will. Maybe they'll to kind of put everyone on the same kind of common platform. They'll eventually remove the iPad home button, but I don't know.
I think Apple is
Not
very
for a
good.
while.
Apple likes to make changes to make the people that bought the product last year feel like idiots. So maybe they'll just remove
I would say
the
that's
home button.
not. That hasn't been true for like the last 3 years.
That's true.
Right? Like,
That's true. But I wouldn't put it past them to remove the home button just so you kind of feel a little jealous of the guy that bought the iPad without the home button.
Yes. I mean, I look at like when I'm on the train, I look at someone with a Galaxy S8. I'm like, oh, that's pretty nice.
Oh, it's a nice phone.
It's nice.
It's a nice phone.
Oh yeah.
So sending some shout-outs all around the world today. Seattle, Paraguay, Vietnam,
Yeah.
all over the place. Thanks, everybody, for joining us. We
Love
love
our
having you.
global readers. Viewers.
And, a shout out to everybody
Don't
else
listen
that
to
of course missed. Let's go ahead and jump into some of the chat questions. Nehemiah asks, will the iPhone come with 2-day battery life?
No. I'm so sorry, but no. I don't think
There's also no tooth fairy.
I mean, there are some special purpose phones that run a little bit longer than others, but yeah, like an iPhone will get you a day of use if you're lucky, if you're not a heavy user.
I would love for Apple on stage next week to make some sort of reference to battery life.
Oh, yeah.
But I really feel like they're not going to do
No.
it. They often do it when it relates to their laptops.
I feel like that's always number one on the wish list for a lot of people. Is like better battery life, and like it.
That
year
applies
after
to
year,
every mobile device.
Right.
for sure.
And it hasn't
but
slowed
year
their
after
sales.
year, Apple is really not. I mean, they just sort of give that blanket like, oh, it'll last you your day or whatever. Like if you don't use your phone at all, it might last 2 days. Just you like never.
I'd like
turn
to
it
try
on.
that.
You know what tweaks me out though? Like now when I'm out and about in the city, you see those info panels that they've been kind of jumping up all over the place.
Link NYC.
Yeah, the Link NYCs.
Yeah.
I see people parked there.
Yeah.
Like, sitting on the
Oh
butts,
yeah,
on the sidewalk.
with their
charging.
plug
plug in
yeah.
and charging. And it's like, okay, I'm not going to discredit New York. That's a really nice commodity that they've provided to the citizens. But wow, Are we really that dependent that we got to park and charge in
Yes.
the
I
middle
mean,
of
if
the
you go to
street?
if you go to an airport gate, like there's like a crowd around every outlet, right? Like everyone's just sort of
and
huddled together.
they all just came from home.
And you know what?
Yeah.
They used up their whole battery on the taxi.
Whenever I go there, I look like a hero because I pull out like a surge protector with like 4 different outlets. I'm like, boom, there you go, people. That's right.
Roger has
Plug
given
away.
like pick you up
Roger
on their
can take us
shoulders.
away.
Oh wait, my flight's going. See you guys.
Back into the chat. Expert Games. They could put a button on the side, a power button or the home button on the side, like the volume rocker.
They could, but they won't.
Yeah, they won't.
Yeah.
I love that idea, though.
Yeah.
By the way, I'm very into that idea. Jessica Dulcourt, when she was here,
She
said
mentioned that.
and she said that they're really good. Like
Yes,
they actually
the
work.
the thing of it is that was less a home button and more a like on and off button. It was more for like turning it back on and off, like putting it to sleep.
Did it unlock?
And it can unlock the phone, yes.
Yeah.
But I mean, the home button does more than that, right? Like, it gets you back to the home screen. But yes, to Jessica's point, and I tried this out with the Rubin phone, that NextBit phone. That's got the side fingerprint sensor. It works like 100% of the time. It's uncanny.
Sweet.
Yeah.
It'll never happen.
No one ever uses it though.
What is the next bit, Robin? I mean,
right,
like it's
that's
dead
why.
now.
Great Mr. Lizard liked Apple,
Love that
the
name.
second potato.
Yeah, second
Is
potato.
that a phrase?
Use it.
How did I miss that?
It was a phrase at the
Second
time of the
fiddle.
at the time of the podcast. It was a phrase.
Second potato.
Lost Legacy asks, did Apple move the rear camera so that people stop recording video in the portrait orientation? Congratulations, Giant Bomb. I don't know.
Something
what they're playing
awesome
today.
just happened over there. I don't know what it is.
I kind of wish I was there instead of here.
Wow.
Sorry, guys.
Hey, stay with us,
rough,
man.
rough. Come
Anyways, I don't know
to
if
the
that's
question-
the case.
So it's
'cause,
meant
like,
to be vertical.
video is a
It's
thing.
vertical instead of horizontal.
Vertical
I think
video
was
is a
the
very
question.
increasingly popular thing.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I mean, the way it's angled now, it'll go from the layout was horizontal, now it'll go vertical.
so it'll cause you to
It's-
adjust
yeah.
this way. Maybe.
I mean-
I like that theory.
I like
think
that
it sounds
theory too.
interesting.
I mean, I honestly think they just moved it around because they had to fit more components in there, and so I don't think it's an orientation thing. I think it's more just that's how they designed it, and that's how they fit more components into the phone. So
It's meant to screw over Snapchat.
yeah, I mean, look, I don't think it's going to affect or it's going to hurt your ability to take either portrait or landscape mode video or photos. You know, regardless of the orientation of the dual lens.
People are going to continue to be dumb.
Don't insult our viewers.
I just hate that. I hate the vertical video thing. I know it's
Oh,
there's
that.
merits
It's
to
a
it, but
thing.
it drives me nuts.
It is a thing though.
I know.
You know, they're creating whole like content around vertical video, right? Like watching it on YouTube and stuff.
Go
Yeah,
90.
It's a thing.
Go 90. That was the whole idea of Go 90, except
I'm gonna
this
plug.
idea.
I'm plugging Go 90. To hell with it.
You'll be the first person to plug Go 90. So, but I know, look, I've used Go 90. It's actually pretty decent with
Come
stuff.
on.
I don't know. They had a Transformers cartoon on there. I thought that was pretty cool.
Okay. I can get into
Then
that.
I stopped using it completely. So after the show was over, I was like, all right, go back to ignoring Go 90.
Ouch. All right, back in the chat. Abdul's got a great question. Will the volume buttons be next? He says all bets are off.
It's true, right? We lost the headphone jack, now the home button. We're just losing everything. Like
How are you supposed
Next
to
thing to
adjust
go,
the volume?
Next thing to go, the whole phone.
they just sell you air for like $700.
And people would buy
oh
it.
yeah. It would be nicely packaged air. Like you open the box, there's nothing there.
You guys are ridiculous. Well, I'm still trying to wrap my head around if that's even possible. Like, would you have a gesture-controlled volume?
You could
So,
theoretically
well-
have you could almost like swipe the side of your phone maybe to control the volume rocker,
So-
like swipe up or swipe down. I don't know.
I went to a
It's an interesting idea.
It
I went
is.
to a Sony product presentation with David Carnoy last week or 2 weeks ago. I honestly forget at this point, but they showed off their
Wait,
version.
is it embargoed?
It is not.
Okay, cool.
We've
Thank
already
God.
No, we've published a review on this already. They've got their own version of the HomePod coming
Okay,
out.
yeah.
And it has gesture volume controls. You're literally like, if this coffee cup, let me see if I can get a better camera angle here. If this coffee cup was your actual voice assistant speaker and you just spin your finger around it clockwise or counterclockwise.
I don't think you can see the cup.
No,
Yeah,
it's not.
whatever.
You want me to hold the cup up?
Here, you hold the cup up. You hold
Here,
the cup up.
let's do it. Oh, there's stuff in
And
here. I better not spill
It's just my coffee. So yeah, you just like what Ben's doing.
They
You
said
do
he's-
that, and
you're
it
stirring the
changes
coffee
volume.
pan. That's what Ben's
So
doing.
what
gesture
I'm good
volume
at.
control is not out of the question.
No, totally. Like I said,
I think you'd look really stupid
You'd
doing that on
swipe
the
up
train.
swipe up or down.
But I'm not saying you have to do that. That would be funny to see.
No, I think
But
it would be
their
more
version
like
of
it would be more like this.
Yeah,
like,
just a gentle.
just a gentle up and
caress.
down, right? And look,
Correct. Who asked that question? Abdul? Come
Yes,
back
that's
again.
Abdul.
I think it's a
Come
good
back
question.
again. I like your
I
questions.
like that was a great question. It does kind of fit with the original vision that Jobs and I've had of like basically like a singular block of seamless
a thin sheet of glass.
right or aluminum. Really was I think the
That
original
doubles as a
design.
razor blade in your pocket.
But like no, but there was like no buttons at all. Like they to kind of be completely minimalistic. That's how you do it, right? I don't know.
Yeah.
It maybe they'll down the line. We'll see.
Just bring back the.
No, the audio jack's not coming back,
audio
dude.
jack.
It's not coming back.
I want the audio jack back.
You and me both, brother. Next question. Watson asks, will iPads eventually phase out as phones continue to get bigger and use full screens on the surface of the mobile? Interested in your thoughts.
That's a great question.
We've definitely considered that possibility for many years.
and
I
iPad
think
sales have been on the
Phones are going to
decline.
get bigger.
Right.
iPads are going to get smaller. And they're going to swap like Freaky Friday.
Well, no, the last couple of iPads that have been introduced were bigger ones, right?
And they've been more like pro versions. You're
Yeah,
supposed to
yeah,
get them with a keyboard. That's how they're trying to differentiate the iPad line.
Yep.
Is to make them more similar to a laptop. So
And they're not necessarily looking for average folks like you and me buying them. It's more at this point like businesses for business use. I think they're pushing the business side and education, like schools.
I'm not an average folks, by the way.
Sorry.
I'm a tech fluencer, so
Oh my God.
I expect you to
Oh
start
my
calling
God.
me that on the show.
Oh.
Not until you put it on your business card.
Yeah. Then I'll just laugh and laugh. Tech fluencer, jeez.
We got a
But
question.
They are so to directly answer the question. I think the iPad makes way too much money as like a segment. I don't
Yeah.
think they're going to
Yeah,
kill it
yeah,
off
yeah.
anytime soon.
No.
They're going to keep trying to find like an area.
And
for
I don't
it to
think there's
function.
going to be that migration where like
Isn't it
your
more-
phone gets bigger to the point where it replaces an iPad. It's
Isn't it more likely that the iPad would allegedly, or any tablet, will continue to get more powerful and
Yeah.
come to replace notebooks before a phone would replace a tablet?
it's possible. It's just it's weird for me
that's
because
more
the
likely.
iPad kind of sits in this weird
That's a
spot.
shot in the dark.
The iPad and tablets in general sit in that weird spot where they're like, they're not. I mean, your phone's a lot more useful. You spend more time with it. If you want something really powerful, your iPad, your tablet's not quite as powerful as a PC.
It's
so
in
you
that
wanna-
weird no man's land.
Yeah.
But if they actually start, I think it's more likely that a tablet would encroach on PC territory before a phone would encroach
Yeah,
on
I think
iPad
that's true,
territory.
especially as things as
They're
processors
two
get
and not
faster,
analogous.
capabilities get better. You have more space to do stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
We got a question here from what will become Ben's new nickname, Benster.
Benster.
I like that
think-
nickname.
That's
I'm
like a
into it.
sitcom. Benster.
Sure.
I don't know.
Do you think the iPhone edition will ship with AirPods?
No.
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 Nope.
Those AirPods are expensive, man.
They want all your money.
Yeah. And there's no way they would give
What are they?
like
160?
130.
Well, I don't
I don't
remember.
know.
They're over $100.
We're terrible with facts,
They're
people.
they're,
so.
they're
why
over
we do this
$100
show.
and they're not giving them
Let me
to
look
you
it
for
up.
free.
Let me look it up right now.
Sharad, in the meantime, is asking.
160. You're right. 160.
Thank you.
In the meantime, Sharad, are we expecting the iPhone 7s to come with wireless charging? Will the new phones come with wireless charging pad included?
iPhone 7s.
7S, sorry, yeah, 7S.
Yes, I believe that the wireless charging capability is rumored to be on every one of the phones, and they should be, because the only way to kind of drive mass adoption is to get every single one of these units using the same capability. It's been around. I mean, wireless charging has been around for a while. It's very mature. It's very stable at this point. So it would shock and actually frustrate me if they didn't put wireless charging in the 7S models.
Okay, I have some late breaking news about Pharma Bro. I wrote about this yesterday.
Okay.
Did somebody
that
punch
he-
him again?
No. So he put
Can I?
he put the one and
yeah.
only Wu-Tang Clan album up on eBay,
Yeah.
and
For
he-
$100,000.
Did it sell?
So it's out. It's over $1 million. The last time I checked last night, he bought it for $2 million back in 2015. I asked him a question because one of the things that he said was, out of frustration, he said he might consider breaking it. You know, this $2 million one of a kind thing. So I said,
And
I
then
asked him
Wu-Tang
yesterday.
would come and murder him.
It's his. He can do whatever
Yeah,
he
you
wants
could
with it.
technically do whatever you want.
But-
Wu-Tang would kill him.
Being the reporter that
They
I
ain't
am,
nothing to F with.
I went and I asked him through the eBay listing, and granted, this hasn't been like, I didn't ask him in person, so take it with a grain of salt, but I asked, why would you be frustrated and break this item? I just got the response back from him like just now. His response was roid rage. So there you go.
Whoa.
He's on steroids?
No, he's just ridiculous. He's a ridiculous
He's
person.
Because if that's the case, he needs more. That
He's
scrawny
a
little
physical
fool.
living embodiment of a troll.
He's really fantastic.
The physical living embodiment of an aborted fetus.
Oh my
Whoa.
God.
Wow, that's harsh.
I recommend everybody check out the Q&As on the eBay listing. They're really funny, and I'm glad I am now included in them. So
Awesome.
thank you very much for we can get back to the
I feel
iPhone.
like you need to write a story about that.
Sure.
All right.
Oh, I talked to this farmer bro.
I don't know. No, the story should just be on the Q&A, like the weird stuff that popped up in
Oh,
the Q&A.
that's not a bad idea.
All right,
This,
so
look at us getting stories generated. You know, we're double duty here.
This is work.
yeah,
successfully off
multitasking.
topic, too.
I know, way off topic.
So we're almost out of time. Let's throw in a couple more questions. Lost Legacy and several others are asking if the new iPhone will support the Apple Pencil and how that's going to pan out in the future.
Ooh, that's a good question. I don't know.
It seems doubtful.
Yeah, and it seems like the pencil is really geared towards the iPad Pro line, and that kind of helps differentiate what the iPad Pro does. So I don't know. Maybe if they have, I mean, one of the rumor names is an iPhone Pro. You know, although we've heard iPhone Edition, iPhone X, iPhone 8, whatever. So maybe it works with the pencil. Like I couldn't see
Maybe
why
the
it
new
shouldn't.
one. Yeah, like
Right?
like the brand new third one.
Yes,
That
yeah.
iPad,
Not the 7S
iPhone
or the
one.
7S Plus. The iPhone, the top tier $1,000 iPhone.
That would clearly be stealing a page from Samsung again.
Oh yeah,
With
totally.
the- with the
I
Galaxy
mean, the idea, the
Note
whole idea
line.
of big phones, that's Samsung. And Apple
Right, but
stole it.
isn't the iPhone 8 not expected to be that big?
I mean, still big-ish. No, I'm just saying in general, the idea of of stealing stuff from Samsung.
Totally.
The big phone thing was Samsung's.
Yeah, we'll look for that, but I don't think it's possible.
Father Knows Best asks, will the home button be integrated into the entire screen, as in you're going to touch anywhere to activate it? And what are your thoughts on
I
that?
think that's a question. I don't know how they're going to integrate.
You think
Imagine
it-
they'll
I-
have like a small home button where it normally would have been, but it's a
Like
virtual one.
ideal real estate in like the lower third of the screen, like anywhere here in this sweet spot kind of thing?
I don't know. That's
It'd kind of cool if it was the entire
that
screen.
would be.
Nice.
Yeah, but
I
you
don't
need
think that's gonna
you need a
happen.
Touch ID functionality somewhere. So if you were going to do that just to wake up the screen, that's one thing.
Right.
But to unlock the phone and use any other Touch ID functionality, it would have to be limited.
Well, that's the thing. I think we're not sure if Touch ID is going to work with a button, right? Mm-hmm. Like it could be facial recognition.
Hasn't that been proven to work horribly so far?
At least for Samsung, it does.
Right.
Maybe Apple's found some new way to make it more secure.
Time will tell. Just a couple more we're going to squeeze in here. Josh Boyd asks, how long until the lightning port is axed? Just like chopping off.
Wow.
We're just amputating this
These
iPhone
are
down to
great.
nothing.
This is a very good question.
No,
We're
it-
just going to get rid of the cameras.
Apple
too.
has set that precedent where it's like we're going to minimize until there's nothing left.
Yeah.
What are
yeah.
you, a German architect? Doing your like best Dana Carvey impression.
No, I see the lightning port sticking around. If anything, I would want them to switch to USB-C. That would be
Not gonna
amazing.
happen.
Not going to happen. But no, the lightning port will be around. They make too much money selling the license to companies that want to make accessories.
But I think you would agree that we do see a future, maybe 5 years, in the 5-year time span, that they are going to get rid of the lightning port.
Maybe,
And
yeah.
convert completely to like
The
wireless
Bluetooth.
charging. Yeah.
I don't know. That's a really good question. I think someone brought up the point like the NYPD is getting iPhones and like
Not
that
Windows phones anymore? What's with the downgrade?
And you know, the idea of switching them all to Lightning or to go Bluetooth would be for first responders who absolutely need like a hardline connection. That seems like a hard sell, right?
Good point.
I mean, to remove the Lightning port would be even worse, right?
Yeah,
if
and
you're
you'd
just
also
relying
be
on Bluetooth.
You'd be forcing people also to buy AirPods.
Not really.
That
Like,
doesn't seem...
They would probably sell some cheaper version of their Bluetooth headphones at that point, right?
But that just seems really awkward, especially now we just got done talking about these charging stations in airports and on the
Yep.
street and in urban areas, and if you're only dependent on wireless charging, you're screwed.
Yeah,
What are you gonna do, carry around a block underwear?
I mean, that's the idea is that, you know, we spent the last 5 or 6 years trying to seed the market with wireless charging stations around the city, right? It hasn't really worked out so well here, but in other places, if you go to a Starbucks, if you go to McDonald's, you can actually do wireless. You can place your phone on the table and charge it there. So,
yeah, but we just started getting around to actually putting cable charging stations out in the wild.
But I mean that's I think the hope from companies like Apple and from other OEMs are basically get the world covered in wireless charging stations, and then then people will actually really see the benefits there.
You're talking to a studio engineer here. I hate cables. They
Yeah.
are the bane of my existence,
Totally.
but they still work better at transferring data. They're
Yes.
faster than wireless,
Yes.
faster than Bluetooth.
That's why we still
don't-
have them.
Yeah, I don't think it's going away. Let's squeeze in just a couple more really, really good questions here coming in at the 11th hour. Jared Topping says, do you think the iPhone 8 will come with better speakers? And then everyone kind of rallies to phone speakers always sound bad.
Yeah.
But I would say there's something to be considered there, being that Apple put so much energy behind the audio fidelity of their HomePod, and they have a lot of energy about audio quality, and it's subjective what you take away from that, but they seem to have an energy in it. They seem to have an emphasis on it, teaming with Beats. They're not bad headphones.
They also played up the fact that the iPhone 7 had those two like stereo sound.
Yeah, they have
the
speakers on the top and the bottom as well now.
Right.
Which,
so
you
that's
know, is
something.
It's
Yeah.
louder. Doesn't mean it's better.
Well, no, it for me it was great because if you hold your phone like this, you're covering speakers
Right.
inevitably. So to have it, especially when you're playing games, so to have speakers on both ends was kind of nice. But yeah, they're not great.
Yeah.
I thought the HTC One actually had decent. They had front-facing boom sound speakers that were actually pretty good.
Yeah. Let's
But
see if
yeah,
Apple
in
can play
gen-
catch up there.
I don't think so.
It's never
They
going
don't
to be
need.
great.
They don't need to.
No, that's true. Last question. This is a really interesting thought. Without the home button, will there be a new way to hard reset the phone?
Ooh.
And that's coming in from Erwin.
That's a great question. I don't know. I think that's one of the things we'll have to find out.
That just cooked
yeah,
my brain.
Yeah, man.
That would be really funny if they mentioned that on stage.
And
They were
this is
like,
how
"We
you
know-
hard reset.
And we know the phone sucks sometimes, so this is how you hard reset.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a really good question. I don't know how
You have
it's
to
gonna work.
press both volume buttons and the power button at the same time,
And twirl around.
and do this.
Yeah, pirouette. So we'll see. We'll find out on Tuesday.
Yeah.
I'm sure we're gonna do more iPhone stuff before the actual event.
So
really?
many.
Probably.
So
Why?
many.
I don't know. I don't know.
Anyway, shout out to Farmer Bro. Thanks for answering my question.
No shout out to Farmer Bro.
Hey, Farmer
no
Bro.
shout out to Farmer Bro. Let's not end the show like that. Jesus.
But we are out of time.
We are out of time. I have to run.
Yeah.
If you liked anything you saw or heard here, check us out on CNET. Our podcast is also available on iTunes, TuneIn, Stitcher, SoundCloud, FeedBurner, and Google Play Music.
Thanks, everybody. See you next week.
No, right.
Thanks, everyone.
Thursday. Holy crap.
Yep.
Short week, holiday weekend. Take care, everybody.
Happy Labor Day.